God, I saw this video. It's like, holy cow, this guy can do it all. It was one of the Grizzly basketball games before they got into the NCAA March Madness tournament, and the highlight reel of the game was incredible. They had great highlights, dunks, three-point shots. Then they had some guy proposing to his girlfriend at half court. And then all of a sudden, here's the president of the University of Montana nailing a shot at half court. It had it all. Yeah.
Hey, sometimes you get lucky, and the ball falls, and it happened to. We were able to. It was a great event. It was a great game. We won. The student. It was the student out there with me, and he had an opportunity to try to make a half court shot. If he didn't make it, I had a chance to make it, and I made it, and he won a scholarship. So it was a fun night. Most importantly, the Grizzlies won too.
But yeah, well, and then ended up getting into the March Madness tournament. But I think also that was just another reminder that, hey, the president of the University of Montana, I mean, this guy is an athlete. He's, of course, a scholar. I mean, first in your class at West Point. I think you went to Oxford eventually, too. And then you became a Green Beret in the military. So it's like, man, this guy knows how to get the job done at the University of Montana at the helm there. So that was pretty cool to see. And then I think the last time we talked with you, you had just joined the Montana Army National Guard. Have you been to a drill weekend yet?
I've been spending time doing some things remotely, working with General Quinn and the team. The challenge for me, I've been in the reserves ever since I got off active duty, and for me, the key was how do I take that service and make it more focused on Montana. So General Quinn and the incredible members of the Montana National Guard, I'm excited to be a part of their team and help where I can. So we're working through that right now.
You recently, I guess we'd almost call it like the State of the Union, like almost like this. I guess you could call it kind of like a state of the university. You recently delivered a campus update. One of the quotes that came out of that was, hey, we're going to win, because folks are very familiar with the challenges facing the University of Montana that you walk right into. You're used to walking into dicey situations. I think, they could call the enrollment and the budget situation that you walked into a dicey situation, but you said we're going to win. What does winning look like, I guess? How do you define victory? A question you probably ask when it comes to your military service also.
And I'd tell you the point of that update. It was a mid-year update, but it was really to share with our campus community the tangible, steady progress that we're making at the University of Montana. The thing when you face a big challenge is it doesn't flip overnight. Things don't suddenly get better just because you're working hard at it. It is day after day, persistent, disciplined execution that causes transformational change. And, Bill Gates is quoted as saying, people often overestimate what they can get done in 1 year, but they underestimate what they get done in 10 years. And so the way you achieve, sort of big changes over the course of a long period of time is getting a little bit better every single day. And that was the point of the update with campus. I shared a story. Actually, it's that time of year, March Madness. I shared a story of Coach K and a lesson I heard him share when I was a cadet at West Point. He came and spoke about leadership and sharing this idea with his team that when you're behind, when you're facing some challenges, you just got to break it down into concrete, incremental steps to get better. And that's where we are with UM. So in terms of winning, it's steadily enhancing the quality of the education that we provide, the transformative student experience. Yes, getting our enrollment to a higher level that ensures financial stability for the university, and we're on our way there. But I'm really excited about the progress we're making, the changes we've made. UM really is a university on the rise, as our new provost has often said.
So is it safe to say that the enrollment dropped? Because I know, Ed O'Brien did a write-up that at least basically the situation you walked into, you had enrollment drop more than 30% since 2011, which of course led to about a $10 million budget shortfall. Do you feel like that's at least now stabilized now and moving things back in the right direction?
Yeah, we're moving things back in the right direction. The thing about an enrollment, it's a 4 to 6 year pipeline of students, right? So we've had smaller class after smaller class. So you kind of look at that overall enrollment number. You might see that overall enrollment number dip because we've had smaller classes coming in and we'll have larger ones going out. The key for us is to change the trend. And that's what we're working on, getting a larger freshman class this coming fall, a larger freshman class from that. And then just as importantly, retaining and helping students persist through to graduation at higher rates to help those who start college finish effectively.
Yeah, President Bodnar, tell us what have you been hearing? Well, I guess first give us kind of an overview of what your schedule's been like the last couple of days here in Billings.
Yeah, it's been a great trip. I really threefold purpose of being here. One is, Billings is the largest city in the state of Montana. We are the University of Montana, and we want to make sure that we're serving well taxpayers across this entire state, employers across this entire state. So I'm here, met with the Chamber of Commerce leaders yesterday, some business leaders last night, community leaders. We'll meet talking with the Rotary later this afternoon, and want to make sure that we're serving the interests and meeting the needs of this community. Very important community for us. Second is talking to prospective students. I went to senior high school yesterday. Went to Skyview. After we finish up here, I'm heading over to Central, and I'll be at West later on this morning. Also had a prospective admitted students reception last night. So really making sure people understand the opportunities available to them at the University of Montana. And the third is talking to our alumni. We have right around 4,000 living alumni here in the city of Billings, yourself included. And
well, I know Wayne Nelson with Stockman Bank's been really drumming up the alumni activities here in town as well. So yeah,
well, it's an important thing for us. So I want to make sure that our alumni are getting what they need from the university as well.
Well, so what are you hearing from prospective students? What are the questions that they're asking you, or what do you feel like their decision-making process is for why they might choose versus MSU, or even a Montana school versus another school out of state?
Right, that's a great question. I think, and I think the parents of teenagers out there would tell you, trying to ascertain the motives that are going through the head of a 16 or 17-year-old is sometimes difficult, but we do the best we can. But I tell you, they are thinking about how are they preparing themselves, and how are they going to prepare themselves to adapt and to not just survive but to thrive in what's an exciting but very dynamic time in this country. The students that are entering the workforce, they're going to have to adapt. They're going to have to change over the course of their careers. Depending on what study you read, it's 60%, 70%, 50% of the jobs that they'll be doing 10 years from now don't exist today. So how are we preparing students for that? And students are thinking, how can I be prepared for that? So I think they're navigating those choices. The good news for Montanans is that we have great options here in the Montana university system. And college is a big investment, but in-state tuition here in Montana and the support of the taxpayers of Montana for a good, high-quality, world-class higher education system is fundamentally important to the economic growth of this state.
I know one of the things you highlighted in your recent kind of mid-year update to the campus was what you kind of took optimism with was the fact that apparently a large number of the Helena College students, so take these kids who are going to go to a 2-year program and thinking, hey, I'm going to start here, I'm going to try this out, or maybe I want to get this trade kind of under my belt, but then they're saying, you know what, I want to do a little bit more here. Now I'm going to go to a 4-year university, and apparently UM has been the transfer university of choice for Helena College. Why do you think that's so?
Well, it's about helping students identify a number of pathways to a career of success, to earning a good job, to having a good life, to building a future for themselves, for their family. And for some, that means taking a path toward a career in technical education, a 2-year education. For some, that means a 4-year education. For some, that might mean graduate education. But one of the important aspects of my job is making sure that we're working together with partners at the 2-year college level, like Helena College, or yesterday I had a chance to meet with Superintendent Upham here in Billings, talking about the various programs and pathways that he and the leaders here in Billings are developing. And my kind of question to him was, where can UM plug into that? How can UM help you to help Billings teenagers say, what do I want to do with my life, and how does various types of education play a part in that? So we're really working hand in hand with 2-year educations, with high schools, 2-year institutions, and other 4-year institutions across the state to provide the best educational options for all Montanans.
We had a great event this past Saturday here in Billings with the University of Montana Neuro Injury Center that Colonel James Mariska first told me about. So great event here in Billings and the work they're doing, which all started as an effort to help their student veterans, and now they're breaking on this new research and everything like that when it comes to TBI, traumatic brain injuries, and PTSD and more. But one of the things it seems like I hear from veterans who are going back to school or on college campus, I'm sure you hear this from the hundreds of veterans that are on the UM campus, is, hey, they want to go back to school. They want to get it done. They don't want to get stuck there for 6 years. So they want to get the job. But I think that's probably more and more of a demand from a lot of the younger kids as well. That's why dual credits, for example, are so popular right now. In fact, last night at the Billings Christian School banquet, it was interesting that even at Billings Christian School, and the public schools are doing a great job more and more every day at this as well. But even take the Billings Christian School, I think you can graduate their high school with 24 dual credits for college classes. What is the University of Montana doing to make sure that we get kids in and we get them out as fast as possible, so you don't get the 6-year university students who seem to never who fail to launch, shall we say?
Right. No, it's a very important question. It's when I welcome new students, I say we are so excited to have you here, but we don't want you here for 7 years. we want you to take 15 credits each semester, keep yourself on track to get to a degree in 4 years. Some will take 5. There'll be some that kind of find their way. But absolutely keeping them on track. And look, the 1-2 free program that the state introduced earlier this year in terms of the first 2 dual credit classes for high school students across Montana are free. So you get 2 free college classes. That's a significant benefit. And not just financially, but it helps students see, what, I am college material. I can get this done. It sets them on a pathway. And so we're working not just with our students when they arrive, but as I mentioned, with our high schools, with our 2-year colleges to help.
But your
build
directive
those pathways.
to your team at the University of Montana is, hey, let's integrate these dual credit classes as much as possible. Let's make it count towards requirements, so that we make it easier on kids to come through here, get a degree, and knock a lot of that stuff out before they even get on the ground. And then those kids get to take more exciting classes that they're interested in because they got that other stuff done and out of the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, 30 seconds to go. President Seth Bodnar from the University of Montana. What else do you want to tell folks across our listening area here?
Look, I just, it's been a great visit here in Billings, and I'm really excited about our partnerships with the Billings community. I'm excited about what's happening at the University of Montana. Our provost likes to say UM is on the rise. It's an institution that is of tremendous quality, great educational opportunities, and I'm excited to be a part of this team and moving it forward.
Well, it's great to have you back in Billings again. Next time you come to town, we'll have to get you in on our 9 o'clock hour when we go statewide. We'll take phone calls, but we'll share a little bit of this later on as well for the rest of the state. But definitely wanted to get you in here early and really focus on Billings since you're meeting with so many school kids and business folks. So big pleasure having you here in studio. Thanks again for being with us.
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it.